Welcome back, everybody, to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Josh Taylor, in tonight for Rich Walsh. I want to remind everybody the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call brought to you by Ireland Contracting, Pittsburgh's '1 home exterior expert in roofing, siding, windows, and gutters. And talking Pirates, we're talking Penguins, whatever you want to talk about. 412-575-2600. Actually, maybe not whatever you want to talk about, but we'll keep it within context. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to JB in Squirrel Hill. JB, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hey, what's up, Josh?
How you doing?
Well, thank you. All right, a few things. The Pirates pitching staff is really, really frustrating because, cool, you know, he looks good, and then he just goes out there and he just lays a total egg the other night. I mean, it's like, are you a major league pitcher or what, buddy? The other thing is, Kevin Colbert, why is it that he's so good at drafting offense, but, like, on the defensive side, he just doesn't really get the same impact in terms of player? I'll hang up and listen. Thanks, man. See you.
Good question about Kevin Colbert. To your point about Chad Kuhl, I have to agree with the sentiment of, especially this last performance. He had a streak of maybe 6 or 7 really good starts, ranging from good to really good, and comes out this last one and just didn't get the same results. And I don't know if you were paying attention to what was going on, specifically in those first couple innings, those first 3. Then again, he didn't last through the third, so it is specifically those first 3. But the fastball location might have been there, but the breaking ball was not. And these guys, especially Chad Kuhl, have been guys that are using their fastball to play their slider off of. Well, maybe the fastball is catching too much of the plate, and then the slider doesn't really bite the way it's supposed to, and then they just start teeing off. So that was one of those days when it just was not working for him. And I talked to Bob Walk. I was actually doing pregame and postgame on the radio side that night, and Bob Walk said, look, there are going to be nights when the breaking ball is not breaking. It's just not sharp the way it should be. And for Chad Kuhl, that is kind of frustrating to see him go what you thought was a run where he kind of established himself and made you have a little bit more faith that maybe he could be a starter. Because there are a lot of people that were calling for him to go to the bullpen because of the velocity, because of the fact he couldn't go deeper into games, which was the same case you made for Tyler Glasnow. And then you see a good string of starts, and then this one comes in and does it all. So you hope to see at least something that resembled those first 6 or 7 before you saw this last one on Thursday. As far as Kevin Colbert's draft record is concerned, that's actually a pretty good question because we've seen what he's done with first-round picks like David DeCastro, Marquise Pouncey. We see what he's done with lower picks like Marcus Gilbert, what he's done with guys like Antonio Brown. He got in the 6th round. Le'Veon Bell was a 2nd-round pick. But now you're looking at another first-round pick on the outside linebacker position at Bud Dupree after we saw Jarvis Jones. Now there's questions about Bud Dupree. Can he do that? Granted, he's switching sides, going to the other side of the formation, but you do wonder, can he be productive the way he was expected to be, being a first-round pick on this team? Now, granted, T.J. Watt, first season, pretty good for a rookie. But there's still, you have to wonder what's going to happen going forward. And of course, being healthy is one of those key things. So you assume that if he's healthy, you hope to see him make a progression. But as far as Bud Dupree's concerned, there's question marks there. As far as guys like Sean Davis are concerned, there's question marks. There were question marks about Audie Burns last season. So that is a legitimate concern as far as what you want to ask me. But let's keep it going. Marilyn and Munhall. Marilyn, you're on the Nightly Sports Call. Hi, Marilyn.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
I was wondering what you thought the chances of Chris Kunitz coming from Tampa Bay back to Pence were if he stays under the salary cap.
From what I've told, I believe it was Josh Yohe from The Athletic that had this report. Well, I shouldn't say it was a report, but pretty much he had the sentiment that if the Penguins were to call Chris Kunitz and ask him about coming back, that he might be interested. So I think there's interest there with him. The question is, how much would he want to be paid? And like you said, does it fit under the salary cap? And where's the place for him? Does he go back to his role of being a maybe bottom 6 guy where he was pretty productive? He was a guy who was one of their smaller guys, but for some odd reason, knew how to find corners and knew how to hit people. And that's a guy you always need, especially on your 4th line. So if the money's right, we know the interest is there. Why not? Let's keep going. Gary in Altoona. Gary, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hi, Josh. Nice show.
Thank you, sir.
Josh, I just want to talk about Sean Rodriguez.
We all do.
Why does Clint Hurdle keep playing him? He does absolutely nothing. And why don't they eat his salary and send him down to the minors? Did you notice the last 2 nights that the announcers won't even talk about him when he's up at bat? Yeah. I'll let you go and see what you think about that.
Well, Gary, I could come up with a couple reasons as to why. You might not believe him, but I could toss him out there. As far as eating his salary, if you're going to eat a guy like Sean Rodriguez's salary, you're not eating to send him to the minors. You're eating that salary to either send him to waivers or to be DFA'd or to just be flat out released. You're not eating that salary to send him to the minors. I don't know if sending him to the minors does him any good. If you're going to send him packing, you're going to send him packing hopefully to another team that's willing to claim him off waivers if you designate him for assignment. But at this point, with a guy who's been around that long, I don't know if the minors is a solution that's going to help a guy like Sean Rodriguez. He's just been playing to this point. And there are times, and there are guys in clubhouses that are just more respected for the person that they are and respected for the things that they do off the field. I think Sean Rodriguez is one of those guys. I think that's why those guys really do love him in that clubhouse. But at the same time, and this is the tough part, sooner or later, Clint Hurdle, Neil Huntington have to make a decision of whether or not he can produce at a level that's worth keeping him around, even though he might be a guy that people like. And that's a tough decision with someone that you like that might not be performing to the level that you want him to. Got to take a break. We'll take more calls and tweets when we come back. Stick around.